Welcome everybody to a new review on MANN Cinema Reviews.
That is correct, folks. It's your host, Peter Mann II, along with my favorite co-host, my son, Peter Mann III. Go ahead.
But today, instead of reviewing, because we gonna get to review Jungle Cruise, Snake Eyes, and the rest, or you?
So we're gonna do a little something different this time. It's kind of gonna be off the cuff, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. We're gonna get kind of a lightning round table discussion of films that are towards the end of the summer that have come out, and I've yet to give it a full review on them. It's going to be kind of a lightning round, like I said. I'm going to call this video a roundtable discussion. No, I think I'm going to call it End of the Summer Roundup. And basically, I'm just going to go over films that I've seen, that we've seen, some he's seen, some I've only seen independently. But we're going to start off with Jungle Cruise. And that is the latest from The Rock and Emily Blunt. It is a new action-adventure film from Disney. And what did you think about the film?
I love this film. The Rock, and it's so realistic with the honey guy and the snake guy, and it's really just so good that I saw this in movie theaters, and it's really good. It's because it's so action every day.
I like what my son just said. He noticed that it's very action-packed, and it comes from the Spanish director John Serra. He's worked in the past with Liam Neeson on The Commuter. He's going to be working with The Rock again in DC's Black Adam. So it's kind of cool to see the action director and star team up again, and both very big, genre pictures. Big budgeted. One's a comic book, one's based on a Disney theatrical ride.
And it's just it's very weird because they had to get a pedal it's like a medicine for a pedal. But before I tell you the rest of what I was going to say, but spoilers ahead.
I mean, we're not going to get too much into spoilers, but what it reminded me of, and he might be too young, but I think he's recently saw the last of the entry in the series of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It reminded me a lot of what Disney studios have done in the past with their theatrical releases based on theme park rides. And just like that film, it takes a very fantastical approach to it. There's some mythos to it. Very grandiose. Special effects are amazing. The stunt choreography is amazing. I think Emily Blunt and The Rock have great chemistry together, don't you think?
Yeah. It's because I like it how it's so almost so rushed. It's page to page, but some scenes are slow motion, but not that slow. It's just they have to talk more, but
yeah,
that's okay. And I it's so happy.
Yeah, and I think
it's never sad.
I think what a lot has to do with it is also it's just a great ensemble. Not only do we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but we have Emily Blunt, Edgar Ramirez is in this, Paul Giamatti is in this, and Jesse Plemons actually stole the show for me. He's kind of the antagonist in the film. He's like a German royalty. He is on this expedition with mercenaries. He's looking for the same thing that Emily Blunt is looking for in this Amazonian jungle. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson plays this guy named Frank. He's this steamboat skipper that's reluctant to help Emily Blunt, but for a fee to get her across.
And it's just he's only helping her. It's because he's only.
We're not going to get into spoiler because I have a feeling that you're going to get into spoiler territory. But there's also something in his end of the bargain where he has to fulfill something. Go ahead.
he's
Don't get too much into spoilers, though. I don't want you to.
It's and you know
give
why
away
they're
anything.
You know why he's helping her? It's only because he's looking for the same thing as her.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Everybody's after the same thing in this film, which makes it even that much more thrilling. It's a spectacle for sure. I think the way they use the theme park ride is amazing. I mean,
it's just like
the Rock being a skipper and Emily Blunt being a doctor and needing a botanist, needing his help.
And her brother.
She's looking for the Tears of the Moon Tree, which harnesses kind of this medicine.
And somebody else is looking for it, which is not the Rock. It's somebody else that's trying to it's like very the bad guy was very funny. I liked him.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons. He plays this guy named Prince Yoakum or something.
And he's like Illusion
and Fräulein. He really goes big on his German accent, and I think Jesse Plemons in the past has done this. He really gets into character. He's a very funny, very charismatic, very physical actor. And I really think that the tips of the hat goes off to him because I really think that he really shines in this film. As much as The Rock is very charismatic, and he usually is, it's taken me a little bit longer than most moviegoers to become a fan of The Rock. Not saying that I wasn't a fan of him before during his wrestling days. It's just as a serious actor. And he doesn't approach it in that way. He doesn't come from theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah, he's like, some people know him by wrestling, but other people, like the people that see him on WWE Superstars, they don't really like it because he does movies.
Yeah, but I think he's as charismatic as he wants to be.
It's like when The Rock plays a movie, it's like,
he's a big personality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he has so much in talent.
Yeah.
He has
I think you're seeing the praises of all of his fans right now. So what would you give this film?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. I love this movie. It's because it's kind of a cartoon, but not a cartoon.
No, it's live action. It's very action-packed thrill ride. I will give this film a 3.5 out of 5, and I really think that Jesse Plemons and The Rock and Emily Blunt all play their part well.
Yeah.
And it's definitely for the family. I would think that if you want to go out to the movies, if you're feeling comfortable going to the movies, definitely go check this out in theaters. But you can also stream it on Disney Plus, early access, so premium access. We're going on to the next film, and that's going to be Fear Street. Well, it's a set of films, part 1, 2, and 3. I definitely had to check this out because the buzz was really heavy with these films, and they're based on R.L. Stine book series. Now, I was a avid fan of Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I think with the advent of Goosebumps coming back with the film series, my son also got a chance to be a part of the kid-friendly but very spooky tales that R.L. Stine tells. What this is the next series that R.L. Stine wrote after Goosebumps, and that was Fear Street. It's more geared to young adults and a little bit more intensity and scarier as well. So it definitely delves into kind of the R-rated, very visceral, scary film. And it does so with homage. I think a lot of people are getting into it because it reminds of films in the 90s. Definitely with the first film, and there are period pieces as well. The first one takes place in 1994. This is part 1. And you get wrapped up in the nostalgia. It brings about films like Scream, and very heavy on the Scream.
Yeah, it's like a Michael
Myers.
Michael Myers. But it just reminds you of more of Goosebumps, and it's just like you just get like a hit of Goosebumps and Michael Jackson and Scream. It's like all together combined in one movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's 3 parts.
Yeah.
There's also part 2, 1978, and that's more geared towards Camp Crystal Lake, a la Friday the 13th, which we just celebrated. And part 3 was based in 1666. And that gave off more of a A24 The Witch vibes. I will have to say that I went in with the lowest of expectations because, again, I was more of a fan of Goosebumps than I was Fear Street. In fact, when Fear Street arose, I stopped reading R.L. Stine and got into scarier and more mature themes with Dean Koontz and Stephen King and things of that like. I think I was a very mature middle schooler because I started reading those at that age. And maybe I shouldn't have read those because it dealt with much more adult themes. And I don't think I was ready or I didn't really have the talk yet, if you know what I mean.
It's like the what I just said. It's like it gives you like a hit of Michael Jackson.
You keep saying Michael Jackson, and I think the only thing Michael Jackson has related to scary films is Thriller. Yeah, I mean, it gives that nostalgia. Actually, I think you bring up a good point with the Thriller, actually, because it very much encompasses the horror genre in the Thriller music video. Go ahead.
It's like the Thriller video.
I think you can only talk about it because you've seen the Thriller music video. You have not seen Fear Street because those are rated R. But let me give you just a breakdown of them. Like I said, I gave you kind of... I didn't want to give too much of the film aspect away. I think a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of people have loved it. In fact, it has very high praise. Audiences can't get enough of it. But to me, I think maybe with the hype being so high, they were very lukewarm to poor for me. And I'm going to be kind of the minority in this. I think they're kind of hot garbage. I didn't care for their wink, homage nods to Scream, which was very apparent. In fact, the first film, in 1994, stars Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke. And I loved that beginning opening, only because it reminds me of, Drew Barrymore in Scream. She's working at the mall, and her and another co-worker of hers are stuck in the mall, and there's a killer on the loose. So for that first opening, it's great, but after that, sucks. And I think it has to do with the younger cast that I've not been accustomed to. I don't think they've done much. But this director, Leah Janik, was a part of the Scream television series, and it shows. I was not a fan of the Scream television series, and it's a very much a reflection of how I feel for the Fear Street films. So very, very briefly, I'm going to rate them. I think part 1 is half a star. I think that part 2 is half a star as well. And part 3 is the most egregious out of all of them. I don't like the period piece take, because I don't think that they sell it with the severity that it needs and the craft that it needs. It was nowhere near A24's depiction of the witch was, and it felt more like a made for TV television series, which it practically is. So I give that no stars. In the summation of all of them combined, I give this Fear Street series a 1 star. And I'm very disappointed. And I'm almost disappointed at all the people that like this film. And I'm sorry if I'm being hyperbolic, but it's not scary. And I've seen better based on what the homage is. So with that, we're going to go with Snake Eyes, which we both saw in theaters, G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. And we also were not big fans of this film as well. Surprisingly, my son was not a fan either. Why don't you go ahead and talk about what you at least liked about the film?
What I least liked about the film is
not what you least liked about it, what you liked about it, if anything.
It's like at the end credits scene at the movies, it's so shocked because he's gonna start his own team.
Yeah. Are you talking about Henry Golding's character, Snake Eyes? Which you actually see him put on the helmet at the very end.
Yeah,
right
it's
before
like
the credits roll.
Yeah, that's like I'm very disappointed.
It sucks.
I really think that this movie could have done better.
Way better.
Yeah, it's just because you have to wait a whole entire movie for it to just like to give him the actual Snake Eyes feel.
Yeah. This is based on G.I. Joe. Go ahead.
And if they like make a part 2, I'm gonna like it so much because you don't have to wait like the whole movie to get his armor. Cause that sucked. I like.
Hey, you can't say that. I can say that. Not being a proper, I don't know, example, but it was not very good.
Yeah, it's because like I'm very disappointed in it because I really think that it could have done better, like way much better.
It's based on the Hasbro toy line of G.I. Joes.
It's just like I don't like it. It's because like armor is just like the main thing you have to get in the beginning, but it's like at the end. I'm very disappointed if they got it at the end. I'm very disappointed in that. It's because like if I would like it if they put on the helmet like in the middle, but at the very end, no, I didn't like it.
Yeah. What's sad about it is that it boasts a great cast. I mean, Henry Golding, I've been a fan of since I seen him in Crazy Rich Asians. He was great in The Gentleman. I didn't see Last Christmas, but I hear two good things about it. But for him to play an origin story of Snake Eyes, I think he came with it as much severity as he could.
Yeah, but
he's a great actor, and it's not like he was pouring it. It's just he's in a terrible film.
It's because it's so like I can't even describe how I feel about it.
Tell how you really feel. My goodness.
It's just like I don't like it because it's just like I really just think it could have done better.
And I think the setup is great because I think that it kind of differs from the other two G.I. Joe films in that it kind of gives you kind of a John Woo, kind of a crime-esque thriller, but it does it poorly because the direction, and I just saw the director's credits, not taking anything away from the director because it's hard making these films. It's hard being a filmmaker. Robert Schwentek, I think is what his name is, but he is the director of Red, R.I.P.D., the Divergent series. I mean, these are not great films, so I totally get it. It's just
like you have to wait for the whole. It's like you have to wait for the whole film for the.
I mean, Iko Uwais, I think his name is. The guy from,
it's like you have to wait for the whole movie to get his armor, and like second of all, I kind of don't like it.
Sorry.
I don't kind of like. I don't.
Samara Weaving's in here.
I don't like it. It's because like you have to wait for the whole movie to get his armor.
I think we got that part. Okay, so I think we're gonna unanimously give this film a 0 stars. That'll be the first one in MCR's history because we just started this year. But 0 stars. It's not good. Skip it. On to the next film, which I've seen, is Pig. And it's the new dramatic film from Michael Samosky. This is a directorial debut. It stars Nicolas Cage in a transformative portrayal. I think this is one of Nicolas Cage's best films to date. When you could put Academy Award winner back on as a kind of clarifier for Nicolas Cage in the film credits, it's a great thing because he's giving a star-studded performance in this. Alex Wolff is in this film as well as Adam Arkin.
But if I saw this movie, it would be okay for me because if I saw this movie, it would be. I would say okay. It would be okay. It's because like I don't really like to get into pigs.
The thing is that I think this film is such an extremely slow burn that I don't think you're gonna get too much out of it. But it's very much. In the summation of it, it's basically the movie Chef meets John Wick. That's exactly how I can describe it. It's about this guy who lost his truffle pig, and these people have stole it for monetary use, and he has to basically get revenge. It's a great character piece for Nicolas Cage. He really sinks his teeth into this, and I'm just going to go out there and say this is probably one of the best films that I've seen all year. The two films that I put it against and are similar, I love, and so I'm going to give a quick review. I think this is a near perfect film, but it's so good that I give it its full-fledged 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly talk about the film Val, about Val Kilmer. It's a documentary on the actor, and he has suffered from throat cancer. It's sad to see him at his state, but he is still going strong, and it's such a reflective film. His son Jack narrates
all
it.
of these movies.
It's a great documentary. Go ahead.
If you've seen these movies, have you seen them before? Let us know in the comments button down below. And if you've seen it, put your rating with your. Just put your rating in the comment section below, because
shout out to Val Kilmer. I love you. This film was great.
And it's actually like Jungle Cruise. You can rate it anything you want.
Yeah. I'm going to give Val a 5-star review. Another film that I really, really suggest all my followers to take a look at it. Thank you very much for choosing MANN Cinema Reviews, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.